Hello BookTube, my name is Adrian and today I'm bringing you a tag video. So today we are doing the Plan With Me book tag, which was originally created by the channel What's My Page Again. Now you may or may not know, but I am a big planner person. I used to have an Erin Condren planner, but it became kind of too pricey for me to continue doing one. One, because Erin Condren planners are expensive, and two, because I really liked using stickers for it. Actually, I think I have one of my planners. Hold on, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so this was my planner from last year. I ended up stopping using this, it looks like in April. I stopped using this planner. So this was my old planner, but I'll kind of show you what the kind of thing I did with it was. So like this was one of my monthly layouts. I used all stickers from the Planner Kate shop, which I really love. So this was like my monthly layout, and then this was like a weekly spread for me. So I would keep track of everything, and I really enjoyed doing this, but buying all the stickers for this kind of thing was kind of costly, and this planner is not a cheap one either. So like even buying a lot of things on clearance, like even buying something on clearance, I still spent a lot of money doing this, and I really loved the way that it like turned out. And like I said, I love these, they're beautiful and it's a lot of fun to do, but like I said, I was spending a lot of money to do these things, and yeah, so I quit. And then I would do things like this, where like if I have a bunch of stickers left over from kits, I would like do mix match, so each day was a different theme, and these were kind of cool to do as well. But yeah, you get the gist. This thing got to be very expensive, and so I quit doing that because, you know, money's a thing I like to have in my possession and not spending all the time. So after stopping that, I switched over to doing a bullet journal. This was the first bullet journal I ever had, and this was me kind of getting my feet wet on what I wanted for a bullet journal. So I have like my first month doing this was actually my first month doing this, I think it was April was my first month, and I did it in a different planner and I didn't like that as much. So this was me like testing out different habit trackers and then like different spread layouts and like what kind of things I liked. Me tracking my reading, monthly spreads. You know, I tracked a lot of stuff in here, and I really did enjoy doing this, and I really do enjoy doing this system. So this was my old one, and then in the new year, I started a new bullet journal. This is the Leuchtturm bullet journal that like everybody uses, it seems like. And so I've been using this one this year, and I really enjoy this. I was a little worried because the pages are kind of thin, but it actually is not as noticeable as I thought it would be. So in here I have like my future log, I have my GoodReads goals and my reading goals, I have a growth tracker, I have a savings tracker because we're going to the beach and I wanted to keep track of making sure we had enough money to go to the beach. And then I have like my cover spreads, my monthly spreads, videos, and then this is what a normal like layout looks like for me now, where I have like the week, and then boxes for each day, and then like a sidebar with weekly habits. So that is what I have been doing right now. I will show you my March spread. I have not drawn actually my March cover page yet, which is something I need to actually get on top of doing. But this was like my March monthly overview. I haven't finished it yet. I need to put in like readathons and things. And then like this is my video page and my readathon page. So this is the kind of thing that I'm doing now. And I absolutely love doing this. It's kind of therapeutic for me to have everything in one place, and I just really enjoy doing it. So this is what I do now for planning. And so I saw this tag, which is the Plan With Me book tag, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to do. So we're gonna go ahead and do this tag. I already told you who this tag was created by. There are 10 questions for this video, so let's just go ahead and get into them. So the first question is Payday, a book that you would buy right now if cost didn't matter. Honestly, I don't know what I would buy. I feel like probably the most likely answer would be I would probably buy a first edition like a signed first edition of City of Bones in like the hardcover, obviously first edition. I don't know where I would get one. I don't know how much that would cost, but I would love to get one because I do not have a physical hardcover of City of Bones. Like I do have multiple copies of City of Bones. I have like the 10th anniversary edition, and I have 4 copies of the paperback, like different editions of the paperback, but I do not have the original hardcover, which is something I really want. So that would probably be what I would buy if money was no object. Question number 2 is pay a bill, a book you would get rid of right now. I know this because I meant to put it in my unhaul at the end of last year and I forgot about it, and it's still on my shelf and I'm salty about it. I would get rid of this book right now, and that is One Day in December by Josie Silver. I am mad at this book. Like, I realize a lot of people on BookTube read and really loved this book, but I hated it. And I guess hate is a strong word because it was fine and I was like engrossed in it. Like, I read it very quickly. I read it in a day. And I had like the desire to keep reading and like not let it end. But I feel like at a certain point in this book, it switched from like I'm reading it really quickly because I'm enjoying it to I'm reading it really quickly because I'm like hate reading this book. The main reason, and I don't know if I'm crazy or if like nobody else thinks the way I do on this, but this book to me heavily features cheating, and that there's like no consequences for cheating. And I had a severe problem with that. So if you guys have read this book and you like didn't notice that or didn't feel like that was a thing, I would love to know like what makes you like why you feel that way. You can like message me on Twitter, you can comment down below, try to stay spoiler free in case people haven't read this book obviously, but like to me this book featured cheating, like physical cheating and also like emotional cheating. And I wasn't okay with that. And I was really upset with this book. And I know a lot of people really liked it. So I'm like, I don't know. I guess maybe I missed something. I don't know. I would get rid of this book right now. And I meant to at the end of last year. And I forgot because it wasn't on my unhaul shelf. And I just completely forgot about it. So it's going. Like in my unhaul this year, this book is leaving. I'm not happy with this book. Alright, question number 3 is Doctor's Appointment, a book that makes you feel better when you are down. For this one, I'm going to go with Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian. This book always makes me, I've only read it once, but when I read it, I was kind of in like a down kind of mood. Like I wasn't feeling great, and then this book really like just made me very happy. Like I remember being extremely happy reading this book. And so this book I think is definitely one that would make me feel better if I read it when I'm sad. And so I'm actually going to be rereading this book in March, which I believe this video is coming out after my March TBR. So I will link that if you're interested. But I'm rereading this book in March, and so I'm excited to see if it still gives me that happy feeling again. Number 4 is A Meeting, a book or series that you felt obligated to read because of the hype. This may be a surprising answer to some people, but for me, that was Harry Potter. I did not read Harry Potter growing up as a kid. It just wasn't something my parents wanted me to read. And like, now they don't care. Like now that we're adults, they don't care. 1, because we're adults and we can make our own choices, but 2, the main reason they didn't want us reading these books when we were kids is because they didn't want us running around playing witches and wizards. Because 1, we're Christians, and so they didn't want me to run around they didn't want us as Christian kids running around playing witches and wizards, not because it's witchcraft, but because they felt like we were too young to fully understand that there is a thing as Wiccan culture, and while it isn't this specifically, they didn't want us running around thinking it was all fantasy and make-believe, that there are real people who like practice witchcraft while in a different form. And so it's like they didn't want us to run around playing at being a witch or a wizard, not fully understanding what that meant. And so now that we're adults and like we like reached that point where we could like differentiate, we knew like cultural stuff. Like once we were old enough to differentiate, they stopped caring. Like we watched these movies and we read these books when we were all like, I think my sister was 10 or 11, maybe. I don't remember. Like she was probably like 10 or 11 when we started watching these. So it's like, it wasn't like a whole thing. But this was a book that I had no real intention of picking up when I started reading it because like I didn't care. Like I didn't read them growing up. It wasn't really a thing for me. Like I didn't get the hype, but because it was so hyped up and everybody was so in love with it, I decided to read them, and they're good. They're okay. I like them, but I'm not in love with them like the people who have the nostalgia factor do. So this book I definitely read because of the hype. Number 5 is A Lunch Date, a book or series that you fell in love with because a friend recommended it to you. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with Aragon by Christopher Poloni. This was a book that I picked up a long time ago. I believe Eldest, the second book, was the only, like, this book and the second book were the only ones published at the time, because a friend of mine, and by a friend I mean a friend but who I also had a pretty big crush on, was reading these and he loved them, and so he told me, knowing that I like to read, he told me that I should read them because they were really good, and I had a huge crush on him, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read the book that you like because I want to have something to talk to you about. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I do really enjoy these books. They are slow and kind of drawn out, but I do enjoy them a lot. And so this was a book series that I definitely fell in love with because somebody recommended them to me. I had a better answer for that, but that's a whole nother video that I'm actually going to do, which is how I discovered The Mortal Instruments, which is my favorite book series of all time. That's a whole nother video though. We're not going to talk about that here. Question number 6 is school or work. Is the school or work week a book that is hard to get through? For this one, I am going to go with The Bride Collector by Ted Dekker. This is a mystery thriller. This book is, it's gruesome. I'll be honest. I did actually like this book. It was very interesting, but it's about a serial killer who, the very beginning of this says, a killer is carving a path of death across the West, intent on killing only the most beautiful women, all in the name of love. He has claimed 6 victims and slipped through the FBI's fingers each time, leaving behind a handwritten note and a bridal veil. So I read this one quite a while ago. I actually met the author and had a book signed. I did not actually have this book signed because I was not able to get a copy of this particular book at the time. The store actually sold out of the books, so I didn't get this book signed. I actually got another book by him signed that I had read. So I don't have this one particular copy, is not signed. I got this one later, but I met him when he was on tour for this book, and so I read this, and it's hard to get through because it's pretty gruesome, as adult mysteries I'm sure probably tend to be. I don't read very many of them, so this one was hard for me to get through. Question number 7 is A Gym Day, a book that gets your heart pumping because it's such an exciting page turner. For this one, I knew I had to pick Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This book is, first of all, a page turner because it's really quick to read because of the format it's told in, because it's told in like a multimedia format. But on top of that, this story is just really intriguing and really interesting, and so it's definitely a page turner for me. So I think this one is a great one for this. Question number 8 is Date Night, a book with your favorite romantic couple. And for this one, I may have an unpopular opinion because I know BookTube has recently taken up issues with this book, but for this one I have Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Anna and Etienne St. Clair are a pretty cute couple. Like, yes, I have couples I like better, like in the Shadowhunters worlds. Like, there are several couples across all of those books that I just absolutely love. But I'm trying for this video to stay away from them for some reason. I don't know why that was a choice I made. But this book, Anna and Etienne are just very cute. I think they're a very cute couple, and they're one of my favorite contemporary couples. Question number 9 is Vacation, a book or series you would want to binge on if you had all the time in the world. I'm not getting them down because there's a lot of them and they're way up high on my bookshelves, but the Shadowhunters world, if I had all the time in the world, I would love to binge read those books in chronological order from beginning to end. Like, that is kind of a goal I have for some time. I don't know when I'm gonna do that. Maybe I'll make it a goal for like next year or something. I don't know. I'll do it eventually. Ooh, maybe that'll be my goal once all of the books, like the Shadowhunter world, is like wrapped up. Maybe that'll be my goal then. Maybe that's what I'll do. Anyway, I would read the Shadowhunter books like in chronological order from beginning to end. I would read all of them. Just, you know, I think that would be nice. That's probably what I would do if I had all the time in the world. And then question number 10 is To-Do List, a book that you keep meaning to get to, but then you don't have the time for. I actually filmed a whole video on this, which is coming out later this month, but the number one book that comes to mind for this is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I have read this book, or like I have started this book probably 3 or 4 times, and I just can never get more. Oh, I have a bookmark in here still. I have never gotten past chapter 8. No wonder I couldn't find this bookmark the other day. So I have never gotten past chapter 8 in this book. Not because I'm not enjoying it. I find it interesting. I just for some reason can't get into this book right now. And like I said, I've started it like 3 or 4 times. So this is a book that's on my to-do list. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So this one for sure. So there you go, guys. That was the Plan With Me book tag. I hope you found this interesting or entertaining. If you're interested in doing this tag, feel free and let me know that you did it, because I'd love to check it out. So yeah, if you guys are planners, I would love to know what kind of system do you use. Do you use a normal planner? Do you bullet journal? Do you use a bullet journal? Do you use an Erin Condren? Do you use something else? I know the Clever Fox planners are like a thing that's been going around. Do you use something like that? I would love to know. I love seeing other people's way of planning, because I'm weird like that, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!